Hey everybody, welcome to Ticket Stubs and Popcorn. I'm Peter.
And I'm Frank. How's it going, everybody?
And today,
How's it going, Peter?
Very good. Peter's doing all right. How about you?
Good. We're talking about yourself in the third person now. Doing
like
a little
that
Bob Dole thing.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Hey,
Very presidential.
you said
Fantastic.
if I just had a
All
pen,
right.
I could hold it in my hand.
All righty.
So
Today we're going to talk
today
about.
we aren't doing an actor. We pulled a director.
This is a director's
yes.
episode. Kenneth Branagh
Kenneth Branagh.
as director, not
Director,
actor.
right.
I don't know why I'm doing that. So I don't know half of what I'm doing on half the time. Kenneth Branagh as director. So
Very good.
Yeah.
I was thinking, if like Kenneth Branagh were in like a mafia mob movie set in the '60s, they'd probably call him Kenny Branflakes. Hey, Kenny Branflakes.
yeah.
Kenneth Branagh.
All right, moving on
Yes.
from that. As we're talking about a director,
Like the Kenny
this is
Branflakes?
yeah.
Nah, not at all. It didn't do much for me, he
All right.
says.
It's really funny. That shirt from where I'm sitting, it looks like the word COVID going across the middle of your shirt.
Well, that's
I know
exactly what it says.
Oh, okay, cool. All right.
I
we're
tried
talking about a
putting
director.
coronavirus. It didn't
Yeah, it
fit.
didn't work. So, who is your? What would be your favorite directorial debut?
Directorial debut.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
So think about that.
They all have to start somewhere, right?
They all don't. We all
All right.
clearly.
Okay.
So let's talk about that.
Okay, I'll think about
you
those.
think about
Do you want
that.
to start with
I'll start talking about little Kenny Branagh.
Kenny-
Branflake.
Kenny
Kenny
Branagh?
Branagh. Kenneth Branagh has directed a couple movies that I like quite a bit. One that I was
Sure.
very, 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 very thrilled to see was on Amazon Prime recently. He directed this. It's called Peter's Friends. It is often been called the British Big Chill. And it's about a group of friends who go to this country house New Year's Eve. And, they've been friends since college, and, hilarity ensues. And some serious stuff, too.
Sure.
But it's really good. I highly recommend checking it out. It's got Kenneth Branagh's in it, Emma Thompson, and Hugh Laurie, and Stephen Fry, and Imelda Staunton,
whatever.
Just
Yeah.
So
Yep.
and a bunch of other folks, and it's really great. Rita Rudner, American comic, she wrote it along with.
She's in it too.
Yeah, she's in
Yep.
it too. So it's really, really fun, and he directed it, and it's really great. It's really funny.
Mhm.
There's a lot of group kind of dynamics things.
Yes.
Group.
Yep.
Conversations going on, and he keeps those moving really,
Mhm.
really well. There are some very serious parts of this movie
Yeah, there's some
that I
topics in
think
there.
that are handled really, really well.
Yeah.
So it keeps the pace really nice. I don't think at any time during that movie does it feel slow, and there's a really good balance between the humor, because there's some really funny things that happen, and
Sure.
and some very serious things. But even the funny things that happen are kind of like a funny execution of something serious. Like when that dude has to go back to his wife.
Yes.
Everything about that is very serious.
Yeah.
Everything about it, from he's seeing somebody else to he realizes that he tells his wife he's leaving, and then she's like, "Wait, what?" And and every part of that very serious story is it's executed comically.
Yeah.
Everything it's so well done, and he's got powerhouse actors in it. Stephen Fry and Hugh Laurie, and I mean those two have got a long history together.
Yes.
And it's great. If you want to see a bunch of people who end up in Harry Potter movies, this is this is a great this is a great movie. So it's about 30 years old, and it was a big nostalgia trip for me to see it again. I've always loved the soundtrack, a lot of great late 80s music in it, and it came out in like '92. So again, it was a big nostalgia trip for me. because of, just my life at the time and friends and school and that whole thing. And it's a movie about friends and school, and I just love that movie. So that's one of my favorites of his. Another one of his direction is Much Ado About Nothing, and he's really great. He's done a couple of Shakespeare ones, and I think that he's a director who manages to make Shakespeare accessible.
Yeah,
I mean this
almost cool.
Yeah. I mean, this one, again, another one in the 90s. Emma Thompson's in it. Kenneth Branagh's in it. It's the movie debut of Kate Beckinsale. Denzel Washington is in it.
Yep.
Michael Keaton is in it.
Yeah.
And it's great. It's a great, if you've got kids who have to read the book for school.
That's right. They have to read it.
I strongly recommend watching this and then read it. So I'm never going to say never read the book, but watch this and then read it. Another one that's a great one, there's a great thing to watch before you read the play, is when Moonlighting did Taming of the Shrew. That's a great. Watch that first, and then you get an idea what the story is, and then
what it's supposed to be.
Read the story.
Yeah.
So anyway, Much Ado About Nothing, a lot of fun.
Yes.
And he's great in it as an actor.
But
as a director, like I said, he's really good at making it accessible. And even like the if you look at the writing credits on IMDb, it says William Shakespeare and Kenneth Branagh. He's just like, I'm in good company here. So so that's another really good one, and one that surprised me that he directed. Like at the time, I'm like, really? He's gonna do Thor, and it was. I mean, first Thor movie is good. Second Thor movie is crap, and the third one is just genius.
Of course,
But the first one is. I mean, for someone who again has done dramas and he's done, the serious Shakespeare stuff. For him to turn around and do a superhero movie. I mean, the last time we saw a really good, like high caliber director take on a superhero movie was when Ang Lee did a Hulk movie. It's just like, whoa, that's like giving someone too much sports car. Like you just can't do it.
Yeah,
but I thought that
you can't handle the engine on that
exactly.
thing.
Yeah.
Kenneth Branagh just couldn't. I just did a great job with Thor. It wasn't as funny as the third one, but it moved. I think it's a good sort of middle of the road Marvel movie in the whole MCU.
Yeah.
So
it's a good movie.
Yeah.
I have said this about a lot of movies, but if the second Thor movie were the first one, there wouldn't have been any other Thor movie.
I don't know though, because you needed him
because the MCU the way
you
it's
needed
built.
him for the MCU.
Oh yeah.
So,
but I just meant like, yes.
It would have been. They would have had to go. It would have been really interesting if that was the first one. But yeah, he did an amazing job with Thor. And he gave us characters like Thor and Loki and that dynamic. So great. So those are my three Kenneth Branagh.
Very
movies.
Good. Very good. So, Kenneth Branagh. We overlapped on one.
Which one?
I'll start off with this one. You mentioned Peter's Friends.
Yeah.
Back, maybe Emma Thompson, when we did Emma Thompson's show, you had a pick where you referenced the movie. Or maybe it was I don't remember now.
I may have mentioned it, but I've mentioned this movie before.
Yeah.
We may have been talking about it when we spoke about her.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was one of my picks for her.
I'm not positive.
So,
but when you mentioned it, I had not seen it. And I'd been, keeping an eye out, along with a lot of other movies. You keep an eye out. When's this thing ever going to get shown again, or how am I going to see this again, or whatever? And I had not seen it, and I caught it 2 weeks ago or so, and my wife and I watched it. Loved it, enjoyed it a lot. It was exactly what said, and we just loved it a lot. And then I was able to tell you, hey, right now it's on for free.
And I ran to watch it. I'm like, I gotta go see it. I hadn't seen this movie in a long, long time. Really.
So
It's so much fun.
When watched it, enjoyed it, and yeah, hey, when his name came out of the bucket, I was like, how fortuitous!
Right,
I could just
seriously,
like,
just-
yeah, talking
It's
about
just like
I just
The
watched this.
stars aligned. It's
Yeah.
so perfect.
So yeah, he's one of these directors who he has obviously he can pick and choose his own movies. He's wonderful in front of the camera as an actor, but when he gets behind the camera, you know that he knows what he wants to
Yeah.
do, and he's gonna try his darndest to get the final screen image,
Yeah.
everything to be exactly
Yeah.
what he thought. And when he is working with Shakespeare, you know he's already thinking, how can I present this on the screen?
It's just
How can I get this, beautiful piece of fiction, which may have already been portrayed on TV or film
Yeah.
before, but how am I going to get my vision
and
out there?
Much Ado About
And
Nothing
so- yeah.
it's beautiful too.
So
it's such
one
a
of-
beautiful looking
yeah.
movie.
And so, one of my second pick, it's a Shakespeare one, Henry V, which is his directorial debut. It would be way
Yeah.
up there for that answer, but that's something that we'll talk about that later. But this one, Henry V, is it's gritty. It's a little grittier look to it. The timing and all that, the setting and things.
That movie felt so long.
It felt what?
So long.
Oh well, I'll come to that. Yeah, it's Shakespeare thing, but he did his own touch. He adapted. He wrote some. So same thing. He shares credit in that.
Yeah.
One. But it's just wonderful that you can take this thing. It's got some political intrigue and this and that one, and bring it to a screen, and it's not necessarily one that you'd go, oh, this is one I'm going to go out and see, because it's not a Shakespeare comedy. It's not.
Right.
It's a history, and it's and it so. But it's like you say, it's still accessible.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm assuming school teachers would love about this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And there's a big cast. There's a lot to work with. You can tell it's a labor of love.
Oh,
when
yeah,
when he
definitely.
does his Shakespeare
Yeah.
stuff, you just know it is. Which leads me to my third pick, which is a very long one, Hamlet.
Yeah.
His version of Hamlet. And when I say his version, he does something with Hamlet that is very interesting, and it's all his director's decision. Is that there are scenes in his movie that don't take place within the play. They are referred to in the play,
Yeah.
but he acts them out.
Yeah.
So if they're
That
referring
movie's
to
super
backflashes, or if they're referring to a war, something that took place that set something up, he goes back
Yeah.
and he fits them into place.
Yeah.
So this movie goes from, I can't tell you for sure. It's got to be close to 4 hours.
Yeah.
It's well over
Yeah.
3.5 hours. I know
Yeah.
that.
It's
long, and he's got everybody who's got a name. You know what I mean? Is in this movie. Pretty much is
Yeah.
in this movie.
yeah. I remember
Just-
when that
just-
came out. It's just
It's
a
phenomenal.
huge
Is it going to be
opportunity.
one you're going to see multiple times?
No.
No, probably not. But what
It's
he
that's an
does as a
investment.
director is tremendous.
Yeah.
And he's playing like he did in Henry V. He's doing in Hamlet. He's playing the lead character as well. So
And that's quite something to
It is.
direct and
When
act
you
in something
direct
like that, especially
yourself.
something that intense.
Yeah. And you can tell it's not just a wonderful finished project. It's like his own love letter, in a way,
Yeah.
to wonderful, plays written by William Shakespeare. Whether it's Much Ado About Nothing, and I know he's done at least one other one. And I got to
Yeah,
be
I
honest,
can't
it's
think of
escaping
what
me
it is.
right now. Not Midsummer. Oh, maybe Midsummer's Night. No, not Midsummer. Forget it. Right.
Anyway,
But anyway, the
Yeah.
one with Bryce Dallas Howard, I can't
Yeah.
think of it.
I can't think of it either.
Oh my God, it was actually one of my picks for her. Is it Midsummer's Night too?
I don't know.
Anyway, but
anyway.
he's a fine director, and he's getting buzz for Belfast, which is like
Yeah.
a semi-autobiographical thing.
Yeah.
He's getting a lot of buzz for that one, and then he's also in another one that's coming out, but he Death on the Nile.
Yeah, that's right. That he directed, and he did
The earlier,
Orient Express,
Murder
so-
on the Orient
which are
Express.
fun. You know,
They are fun. I'm not as big a fan of those.
yeah. I mean, I'll definitely I'll see it. You know, it's got a lot of.
It's been done before.
It's sort of like
and it's-
contemporary. You know,
Yeah.
it's just modernizes it a little. Well, not necessarily modernizing it, but you've got more contemporary actors in it, so that'll be fun.
Right. Yeah.
So, all right. So directorial debut.
Yeah.
What do you got?
Directorial debut. It's funny because, like I said, Henry V for Kenneth Branagh was his debut, but that's not one of my. I love. I can give you a couple. I know. I've loved Bottle Rocket, which is Wes Anderson, one of my favorite directors. I really love Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah.
With Quentin Tarantino. I really love that one a lot. But I want to say my favorite directorial debut is This Is Spinal Tap
Oh yeah.
by Rob Reiner.
Okay.
I do. I just we were familiar. We were familiar with Rob Reiner mostly from All in the Family.
Yeah.
And you'd see him once in a while. He might be in something else, but that's mostly what.
Oh yeah.
what
That
you
was
feel
his
like got
claim
him
to
for.
fame.
But comes from a family that just
Well,
is
Carl Reiner's just a,
steeped in comedy. I think
genius.
just thinks funny
yeah.
and humorously through probably many aspects going through their life and
Yeah.
through their day. And so when he did this one, it was just one of those that movie to me it's one of the funniest movies I've ever seen. So much funnier than I ever anticipated. And he's done so many movies,
Yeah.
and some you kind of forget that he's done because they aren't necessarily comedies, or some they aren't at all comedies. But this one though, This Is Spinal Tap. That's one of mine.
I think I would definitely agree with the Quentin Tarantino with Reservoir Dogs. Kevin Smith's Clerks.
Yeah,
I think
I
that,
actually forgot about that.
Yeah,
Excellent.
no, I'd say that's probably only because just the whole sort of indie vibe to it,
Sure.
and it's been interesting to watch him grow, and him just sort of now he's just making movies that he wants to see, which I think is great.
Yeah.
He tried to be. I think he tried to be more commercial.
Yeah, a little.
He didn't work well with like Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
So, but some of his stuff is great, and I think Clerks was a great start.
I love Clerks too,
Yeah.
which
Clerks
is many
2
years after
yeah,
Clerks.
most, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So yeah, really, that would be probably my favorite directorial debut.
Very good.
Yeah.
Good pick.
So anyway, that's where we are. Who we got next?
I don't know. Let's find it. Well, we won't tell them, but we'll
Yeah.
find out.
We learn nothing.
We keep you in the dark.
All right. Okay. Where did that come from?
You must have dug deep for this one. It was in there, though. It's in there.
Anyway, all right, folks. Hey, thanks for watching and listening and, liking, subscribing.
Yeah.
And all that good stuff. So hit that little bell for notifications. And I don't know. That's all I got. So we'll see you next time.
Take care.